right now. I have no idea really what it does, but it's supposed to register, manage, and execute abilities.
Ooh, okay,
We
let's
are
talk
apparently
about
live.
that. So, as we just
Maybe we don't talk about it unless we know what it
hold
is.
on, well, considering we're here now, Phelan, will you share it
Yep,
to the Facebook group?
we're going live, and
We're live.
Phelan's reading about it, and I know nothing about it. So
There
it's
we go.
not going to
Yeah.
be a good conversation.
Hi, everybody. We're here today. We're talking about all the marketing updates, and we're going to do the order of who got in here when. So I'll say hi. I'm Pip, Seymour Digital Media, and below me is.
Oh, I didn't come in next, but my name is Rena Little from Full Serve Web Marketing. Sorry.
And my name's Phelan, also from Seymour Digital Media.
And I'm Greg from Original 72 Creative.
And we all know Greg likes to go last. But Rena, I'm going to pitch it over to you first because you have a lot. And let's talk about what you know about what's going on in the marketplace for marketing.
I do. Yeah, actually, I got fascinated with all of the AI kerfuffles that have gone on because, of course, everyone's interested in AI, and it continually changes and gets better in some ways and worse in other ways. So what we've got here this year, this month, Alibaba is taking on. Oh, this has nothing to do with AI. Oh, yes, it does. Takes on Meta with New A smart glasses. So basically, there's competition for that. So that'll be super interesting to see how that plays out. Quark AI glasses, new wearable, available in 2 variants. I sound like a commercial.
Now, I'm
Not
wondering,
an influencer.
do you know anybody with the Meta glasses? Any of you?
No, I don't. And if you have Meta glasses and you're watching this, please drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know exactly how you like them in particular and how it integrates, how well it integrates, because I find Siri annoying, quite frankly, and
Syria
I want to
is
know if there's a
using.
better way.
What is Siri using? They're going to integrate ChatGPT, and I know that your Google Home is. Oh, go on.
I thought it was Copilot was trying, like Microsoft and Apple had worked out a deal.
Oh,
Like,
maybe it
Oh,
is Copilot. I like Copilot. I like when Copilot shows up in places and I get to use it.
mhm.
It
Well,
works well in Zapier and Read.ai.
yeah, what I'm thinking of though, for use purpose, or and maybe this is just me, but I think of the glasses as being really useful when you're out in the world. So I don't want to have to be like clicking and looking and
At your
typing, and
phone. Yeah.
I want to be able to say take a note, and I want 5 things on the note. Like so far, I don't know, maybe I'm just bad at this, but I can only get Siri to put one item on each note, and then I
Oh,
have to go and amalgamate them later. It's so annoying, but I'm sure there's a way. If you know, please let me know because I'm frustrated with that. And
uh,
also, Siri, yeah,
I was going to say there's a way that they can do it, but there's the
oh,
counterbalance to that with every new like wearable device is that they will give you a third degree burn because they have to
oh,
redline so
well,
hard
I
in
don't
order
want
to.
that.
no.
Like, I
And
don't
I
want
know you
Yes,
that.
can
I like my
automatically,
skin.
you have to go to jailbreak the light because the light will turn
Right,
on when you're recording. So people
right,
jailbreak that. That's very interesting. I
right.
wonder how you would be, I wonder how they'll advertise you in there. Uh-oh.
I'm sure they're going to find a way. I'm sure that way was thought up well before they even introduced the glasses, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other, okay, so that was that. Oh yeah, the other thing that happened, one of the iOS updates no longer lets me use Siri while I'm using the Google Maps. So if I'm in my car, I'm listening to Google Maps for my directions. I cannot text people that I'm 10 minutes away or anything
Mm.
like that by using Siri, and that's really annoying. Okay, so those are just some user experience that drive me nuts. So we've got the MIT study that finds that AI can replace 11.7% of US workers, which is actually a significant amount.
For what?
However, pardon me,
What kind of workers?
that I don't have my notes to that close stuff, but because it's more of a segue for me in what I'm
Oh,
presenting here.
I see. I see.
So but I do have the link for everyone to read that one more closely if you're interested in wondering about your job. But while MIT finds that there's going to be 11.7% less workers due to AI. The AI shopping assistants are kind of gone the shopping, and there's also a recipe. There's a whole thing that's happening in the recipe sphere that seems so niche that I need to touch on.
Oh,
So
cool.
the AI shopping assistants are recommending products that are outdated. So basically, the too long didn't read version is that that they're training on product information that's 18 to 24 months old, yet they present the recommendations with the confidence of current market analysis. And for consumers who don't know what they're looking for, the exact audience these tools target, this creates a perfect storm for outdated purchases. And so what happened was this woman, Stevie Bonifield, she is actually a journalist, I shouldn't have said woman, journalist, asked for different AI bots to find an Android smartwatch for her Nothing CMF Phone 1, and the results were disaster. They gave her the 2023 version. They sent an email 15 minutes later saying that it was no longer available, and then they lost her on the callback. There's a callback feature that she was using on this AI. So it was a bit of a disaster, her little research project. So that's going to pose a lot of problems. So lay off your 11.7% people and then watch your sales tumble.
Well, we've seen that happen time and time again,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think the
Yeah.
fast food restaurants were the first.
Yeah.
Greg, now have you encountered anything like this?
No,
Have you shopped?
I've been so busy, not really plugged into things lately that I'm kind of on the outs on a lot of stuff recently.
Have any of us tried the shopping features?
I was
No,
going to circle back to what Rena said about the recipe thing, because that's actually really important, because
Yeah.
that was in the
I've got a
latest.
whole thing.
So-
Sorry.
Does it include the Gemini update that just happened? Because that was the biggest shockwave that happened to the AI world in the last week. Was not that Gemini got released, but other people tested the new Gemini against other, because Gemini doesn't use NVIDIA's fancy GPU chips. So basically, it made this $5 trillion company potentially worthless overnight, which is the largest company on the stock exchange, and it's one of the Magnificent Seven that's leading the charge. So the fact that one of the other Magnificent Seven just stabbed it by not using their chips meant that Gemini sent shockwaves through the whole system by having like a DeepSeek, but now it's a Western company. So it's like they have access to it, and they just told them to pound sand. And sorry, just to circle back to the recipe thing, the reason why that's the most important is one of the most important features that I thought was interesting that no one really touched on was that Gemini will go and run through pages and has the ability to suggest recipe schema, and it will generate schema for you, because recipe schema is a really big schema that I don't use at all, but was a huge one. And it has to do with Gemini has the ability to scan pages, because that's what their documentation is all about, is apparently was recipes when I looked it up.
Okay, so let me neutralize this. Let me break this down for you is what I mean. All right, that was funny wording. Okay, so basically it's hitting all over. So there's all sorts of different aspects of this, and this article that I read did not focus on one particular AI over others. So basically AI generated recipes, summaries of authentic recipes, and dupe sites are decimating the online presence of content engagement. So it's like in every sphere, you're going for that traffic, right? And you want that traffic, and you go and you scoop it up. So you create all these sites and you steal traffic, and so basically this article talks about how AI slop is eroding the trust of real cooks and foodie content, and that's taking a huge bite out of their business. So basically, some of these, like Easy Peasy Foodie is a popular
site,
and it's lost traffic by 40%. Inspired Taste saw its click-through rate drop by 30%. Clean Eating Kitchen saw its traffic shrink by 80%. forcing the owner to lay off 10% of her staff. So these are all really big issues, but they're not for like giant companies. So this is like, these are smaller companies that are actually
Experience
doing
the
well
issues. Yeah.
in this. Yeah, they're experiencing the issues. And it has a lot to do with like scraping content, and but also chatbots. Chatbots are actually pushing out AI recipes, and the AI recipes are crap. Like the photos are
Mm.
crap, which is one thing. It's not that bad to have a AI photo on your recipe, I suppose. But what's bad is when the recipe isn't right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
somebody's
That.
found that recipe. And and so they're really struggling with all of these things, and the summaries are incorrect, and
Interesting.
they're using summaries from creators that they don't have the permission to. That's the other thing. So
Well,
there's
have they
copyright things going on.
have they gone to their hosting and asked if they're being scraped or not?
It doesn't
Like,
say that, but don't
okay.
Oh,
chaps don't
s-
don't AI, isn't that what AI does?
AI
yeah.
scrapes, but you can turn
You
off,
can you can, yeah.
but it has to be at the domain level, I believe.
So interesting part about that is that they've actually shown that MLMs are completely ignoring that. So the
Oh,
LLM.txt,
yeah.
they did a study of 300,000 domains that had LLM.txt and
Do you
what they did to it, and it turns out that they were just like straight up ignoring
I love
do
this.
you mean that you're using? Sorry, do you mean by MLM? Do you mean multi-level marketing companies are ignoring
Or
it,
are
or
you
it.
what
saying
is the MLM?
LLMs,
LLMs,
large language,
LLMs. Oh,
yeah,
beg your
large
pardon.
large
language
Sorry.
language
model.
models, which
Okay,
is
got it.
what the basis of um, all the AI is, right? Different. So
Hmm.
I would check. I mean, that 24 month, that 2 year back thing you were talking about, where you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
delivered. So that originally we were getting. Remember when we were getting, like, you could only go so far back.
Yes.
And that's how they were training them. So I think we should maybe look at researching, like, how far back are they looking? What are they doing? Because the shopping, I think Target's doing the new shopping thing, launching, like, I think this week Black Friday. But we all know that they've had
Oh,
severe
yeah.
issues, right? And they've lost a lot of market share because of they've ostracized their target audience,
Yeah.
right? So
So it's hard. So it's going to be hard to tell what they've lost from that versus what they lose from AI.
can we bring up something really funny that I just did? You guys hear that
I don't
Campbell,
know.
the
I'm a bit
Campbell soup
worried. Do you want to
guy?
put it in the
Oh
chat
yeah, yeah,
first?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I did
Oh,
not
it's
hear about
so
that.
good.
yeah.
He
Tell
was
me
caught hot on a
what
hot
happened.
mic.
He wasn't caught
What
on a
was
hot
that?
mic. He was
Yeah, I
caught on.
thought he
It
was.
was No, it wasn't a hot mic. It was an internal podcast to Campbell's, the
Oh my
soup
God, it was
company.
so bad. He was basically like, it's slop. I wouldn't feed it to my family. And like, I wonder if the numbers will go down. I mean, and it's weird when people are hungry, but I mean, that kind of
That
brings
man,
up the point, bad
that man.
publicity,
We need
right?
to get him in a room and figure out what his why is, because he's ruining
Yeah,
his
how many
brand
people heard
single-handedly.
him
Well,
bashing how bad the product is and was like, I should try that again?
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah,
You're bearing the lead a little bit
yeah.
of like what he actually, because you forgot the first part of the sentence that he said, because you just said the second half. But the big one they got caught on was he was
Those
like
poor
talking, because it's
people.
a bit sarcastic if you like actually listen to the, like, I heard the audio of it, not the full clip, because I have better things to do with my time. But like the actual clip that's like the one that everyone's talked about, where he talks about they like act like it's like they're 3D printing meat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is
And
expensive right now, so they're not.
yeah, it
No,
doesn't exist. Like, it's not a
no,
known thing that people could
no.
do at industrial
It,
scale. But he
yeah.
talked about it like, because he's their CTO, so he's the guy in charge of
Oh,
all their tech stuff. That's why he was kind of like, it's a bit like, it's not actually that he was talking like this is slop. Like it's a bit more sarcastic than like he's kind of
Yeah.
like, it's a bit
I
more
don't
tongue in
know.
cheek.
I,
Then if you listen to the clip, he's a bit more tongue in cheek
I
than you
did.
would like if you just read what he said.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds. I mean, I did.
It,
Anyway, I heard some of the clip, and it just. I thought it was pretty negative press for
hey, it
Campbell's.
doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if he meant it tongue in cheek or how he meant
Yeah,
it. That's it's traveled, and that's all that
Yeah,
it takes.
and social media
Yeah.
makes it travel far.
Well, and plus the guy that released it is also suing Campbell's for wrongful termination.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
So
Oh.
there's a bit more context to the whole thing. And
Mm.
the guy that turned out like one of the things he had in his court case that he was presenting is
Yeah.
that, hey, they were talking about it like this, so why are you firing me for talking about it this way as well?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's always more to a story. I think that's what we're learning. There's always more to a story, and marketing can really, where the media can really just, make it what they want, right? There's some really interesting things going on, like the ChatGPT and the shopping. I think we all should go try it. Just maybe don't buy. But try.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really fun. And there's a lot of shopping experiences and ads that are now going to be showing up in
Yeah.
generative search experience, which we have all decided now that the term for SEO is now GEO, which is from
Oh, we
Google,
have,
which
have
is
we?
generative search optimization.
Okay. All right. All right.
But
Well, Google's still making the rules.
It's not Google optimization.
no, well, and
Google engine optimization.
or you can say, oh, hold on, we have a comment from Gilly. How do
Jelly.
Jelly? The drama. It is drama. Marketing's a bit of
It is
drama.
totally
No?
drama.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
mostly
totally.
drama.
The other
There's-
thing I wanted to point
I'm
out
get-
was the OpenAI data exposure that happened in the Mixpanel breach. So I'll put that
Oh.
link in the comment below so people can check, but make sure you're changing your information.
Make sure
If you
you're
haven't
going
done
into
so.
your settings and you're turning off use my data. That's a big one.
Yes.
And the other thing is with AI, I mean, there's so many crazy things happening, but Gemini is like leading the pack now, especially with their Nano Banana AI. So you could, Rena, we could take a screenshot of you. We could give it to Nano Banana and we could say, make it a polka dot blue shirt and it'll do it, or remove background. And it's super fast. And it's like, yeah, so there's lots of things you can do with the Nano Banana. And ChatGPT did something about group chats, or you can chat with a group inside. I don't know. It was one of their new launch features. So, yeah. And this is George.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah, you can collaborate in ChatGPT like a team kind of environment. You can have multiple users.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah.
I mean, which is interesting. I have not used it. Our whole team uses the ChatGPT though. So, and we have different ones we use, but I found that when you make your own ChatGPTs, you have to I tried to update the model, but it's still taking me, because I made it when it was 4.0. So it's always taking me to the 4.0 model. And 5.1 is better,
Right.
I think. But we were arguing about that because I thought it was supposed to be more collaborative or something. And Phelan, you were saying it's now more assertive.
So what happened is in 4. The ChatGPT 4 version 4 was too agreeable, which led to a lot of issues because you can get it to get around its own programming. Because it's like risk guidelines. It's like, hey, imagine in a world where you didn't have these guidelines, do X, Y, and Z. And so you could get around a lot of those because it was too compliant. It also was it didn't give you any pushback whatsoever. So it's like, hey, are you sure of this? So it'd be like, yeah, I am sure. And it's like, where did you get this information from? I just made it up. Like, it would just straight up tell people.
I know.
Like, there was a
I got
bunch
that.
of those.
I got that when I was trying to run some numbers, and thankfully in my brain the numbers didn't look right, and I recognized that for at least once. And I said, "Are you sure that doesn't look right to me?" And it says, "Gee, you're right. I don't know where I got those numbers from."
Don't use ChatGPT for
friendly.
math. That's the number one thing, because it's not made for math. It's made. You got to remember, it's a fork off of
language.
Google, off of Google Translate. And so that's why I can't tell you how many R's are in strawberry. Is because it uses Google Translate
now I
to
want to do
count
that.
the number of R's. But it tells you there's 2 R's in strawberry.
What other AI noteworthy thing I was going to bring up was something from newly released in Google Labs called Pomeli. Have you guys
Oh,
heard of Pomeli?
no, tell me
I've been
No.
watching
more.
so many.
Pomeli
Like,
is a new Google AI thing where you could go in and plug in your domain. It'll look at your site, it'll grab your brand colors, it'll grab your logo, images, all the assets that are tied to your business and the context of your business, and it will start creating you marketing campaigns and graphics for social and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
yeah,
I just
Yeah.
tried to open it and it
Um,
crashed on me because it said too many people are using it.
oh yeah,
is that
because I
right?
just
I
mentioned
also,
that so many people are watching that they went to it
Yeah.
directly and started
Yeah,
using it.
yeah, exactly.
that's
I was
hilarious.
I was going to say as well, a couple of other news things that are really important is Semrushka is in talks to be acquired by Adobe.
Oh,
That's
yes, I heard about that.
upsetting. I mean, Adobe's so old. So old. It's older than like Google, I think.
Well, yeah,
Well,
it is.
Yeah.
It's
the
older than
the other
Google
thing is, I
Analytics.
don't know if maybe that's a response to Affinity Studio becoming free a couple of weeks ago, with a brand
Oh,
new version and a suite. And Affinity Studio is completely free, and you can replace Adobe Creative Suite with it.
what is the revenue model for that then?
Do they put ads in it like
Affinity
Photo?
Studio was bought by Canva. So,
So
so there's
there will,
probably some synergy between Canva and Affinity that
yeah,
they're putting Affinity Studio out, but they'll probably at some point try to pull a bunch of people in and boost up Canva, which is there's paid
yeah, yeah.
tiers
They're
of
probably
Canva.
actually. I doubt that they'll keep Affinity Bridge free in that case if it's been bought out by a bigger company. That's always been my
Affinity
experience.
Studio, they've said it will be free forever.
Yeah,
Oh,
Well,
I've
it's
They've
heard
come
paid.
that
out and
before.
they've said
I've
that.
heard that before. Nobody can make that claim.
Yeah.
I've heard
They
that
made it.
before.
So
I even buy one time. I buy one time licenses. Have the license forever, and then 3 years later they're like, oh, by the way, in order to serve you better, we're going to start charging again. There will be an annual license.
oh,
So
interesting.
I've seen it I've
Or,
seen it many
or
times.
or the flip side is, yeah, it's going to be free forever, but they're going to slowly reduce the feature
Reduce
set
the serve.
over
Yes,
Yeah.
time, and then it just gets
yes,
integrated into Canva.
yeah.
The other thing
Because
they could do,
if there's no revenue model, it doesn't last.
Well,
It
because
just
how can
doesn't.
they keep it going?
Yeah,
they have investors.
exactly.
Investors want money back from them, and that's just like it doesn't matter what we think. They have people that they're beholden to that want money from it, and so they're going to start squeezing it. The other thing that they could do is just absorb, like, yeah, you'll use all this product for free, and they're just going to use it to train Canva to be even better. And then they're going to be like, hey, why are you
Mm.
using this old antiquated system? You should use our new fancy
Have you
Canva
all
AI model.
tried the Canva AI stuff? Does it work for you? I
I
haven't really
have
utilized
not
it.
used any of the
Yeah,
Canva
I
AI
use the
stuff.
animation. Sorry.
Oh, do you? Well, we
Sorry,
got
Greg.
one. Greg is saying no. Rena's saying yes
Oh,
for
okay.
animation.
Only because I
Yeah,
don't use Canva very often. Like for one
mhm.
client, I do a couple of graphics, but yeah, I'm not really a heavy Canva user.
It's really a nice way to turn stills into little movements to put on as reels, which gets you way more watch time and reach and all of the fun things that you want.
There, yeah. Have you, just speaking of all of the AI stuff, have you guys tried to combine any AI stuff, like do something in one and utilize the
No,
other? And
I am not that sophisticated. I'm mostly using it for uh, looking like analyzing things and refining my words because I'm not that smooth, and organizing thoughts, not so much like
Mm.
looking for patterns. I'll tell it to look for patterns.
Oh, I like
I'll do all that
that.
stuff. Yeah, so I use it in that way. I don't use it for visuals because I've got like graphic designers that I really want to continue working with and web designers and I
Speaking of
like their
which,
work better.
yeah, yeah, and that's fair because it probably is
Yeah.
better. Um,
Yeah.
one of the things that's come up is that you think AI can do all these things, and then you still really need humans. Like you need the human to look at it right. At least it's getting the wording right of things now and
Most of the
images
time.
most of the
Most of
time.
the time. Even yesterday, I put in exact words. I said I want these exact words, and then I need an extra paragraph that says this. And it gave me back not the exact words, but
Mm.
not the changes that it sometimes does. But it did miss out on one key piece of information, which actually changed the scope of my project. And that's where I
Ah,
want you need to have hawk eyes and make
yeah.
sure that things like scope and pricing and those like details that are super important don't disappear or get changed by AI because that's where I'm usually finding it. So while it does cut down on my time, it's not like I can hand the task over to somebody else who doesn't have the internal knowledge that's in here to see those things and know
Mm.
that they're not right.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's the problem that I'm
and that's
having.
where like client facing things come in, right? Like we have some really particular clients, and if you use AI stuff, it can get some important things wrong. Like you
Hmm.
never want pricing; you always want to look at terms, and what's the other one? There's another one that you always have to check. I was saying it yesterday.
Oh, like
Pricing.
scope, like what's in scope, what's out of scope. It'll
Yeah.
hallucinate what's
Yeah,
in scope and out of scope
yeah,
really quickly if you let it.
that's exactly what happened to me yesterday.
I did
Yeah.
see I'm in this AI kind of group that I go to, like SEO and AI, and this guy came in with he was new to SEO, and he had written like got ChatGPT to write out all the things he was going to do for this new client, and I almost died. I was like, "How much are you going to charge for that?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Are you? You're going to
yeah.
die, dude."
Or here's another interesting example, and no shade intended with this client because they might watch eventually and see me say this, but I had a client fill out an intake form, which goes. We were trying to rush it, so we skipped having the branding intake. I'll never do that again. And I sent over a form to be filled out. And he, instead of going through how he feels about his company and what he thinks about his company, all that, he actually answered what he put it all in ChatGPT and had ChatGPT tell him about his own business.
Uh
And
oh.
I'm like, dude, are you building your business or are you building a business for ChatGPT? Like, honestly, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found that so curious because it was really actually hard on our end when we were onboarding to actually take a highlighter and highlight the things that we actually thought came from him
ChatGPT.
or his team, right? Yeah, like get rid of the chat GPT stuff. Obviously it's what he wants eventually or partially or somehow, but so we had to sort of keep it. We couldn't just delete it, but then we had to sort of find out where are those little bits that make his company uniquely his, like what's his thing,
Mm-hmm.
to find out his thing. It was really hard and it was really interesting, and it was something that I was absolutely not expecting to get
Uh,
back. So, you got to like, usually you think that you prepped your clients well, you've given them what they need, and that you're going to get something back that is going to look something like this. And then you get something that's so left field. It really threw me for a bit.
mm.
I gave that the word actually, because I thought that was really silly of me,
Yeah, we're
you know?
we're we're yeah,
And
I
it,
want to tell you one thing I'm doing in the with the AIs that you'll find really interesting, and then we have a couple other updates, which is Facebook and Instagram are trying ad free in the UK. I'm sure you have to for a monthly fee, of course. Kind of YouTube's done that too, and we actually pay for the YouTube. But as a marketer, if you get the ads, you can write it off. Or
did you sorry, do you find a big benefit to paying for YouTube? Like, why do you do that? Do you do that for your
because I
work
hate that
purposes
because the
or for?
ad of the ads were so upsetting. They were like, Are you annoyed by this ad? And I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
We also got it ahead of going on to a plane ride, and then just downloaded like 5 or 6 hours of content to just watch while we're on the
So
plane.
if you're ever getting on a plane, you pay for it. Download.
Right.
You got to download
and
before.
it's so easy once you're already on it that it's just sort of like, I'll just keep going with the.
But let me preface, you cannot, like your computer does not get to download it. It downloads in like a silo of YouTube. The other thing I wanted to bring up was Google Ads is doing some weird ass stuff with what they can do. And they're like touting this like, oh, our their image center or whatever, they can make you videos. Yeah, I made a video. It was terrible with AI inside Google Ads. Like, so it's got a long way to go. And so this is what I wanted to tell you before we leave. So what I've done is we
forgot the most important bit of news that came up for SEO this month.
There's so many SEO.
That's a second thing that I want to circle back to. But Cloudflare went out, and it turned out Cloudflare being down for a day turned out to affect every website's SEO rankings because everything 500 for about. So Google had to rearrange everyone's ranking.
Wow! So would you recommend getting Cloudflare for your clients?
Yes.
It depends on the client. Like if they're a local business, then no. But
do you guys have Cloudflare?
National brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we use Cloudflare for all of our clients. Yeah.
Okay. You too, Greg?
I don't for all, but I'm suggesting it for everyone, and if they say yes, we set it up.
Okay, awesome. That's interesting to know.
So again, that just highlighted the entire issue that we just completely avoided, which is, hey, our internet is entirely centralized to like 2 companies, Amazon and Cloudflare, and their servers. And when they go down, which both of them have gone down in the last 2 months, it turns out the entire internet got affected. We probably shouldn't be reliant on 2 companies to do all this stuff.
On the other hand, I'm glad I'm with everybody else and we're all in the same boat because that looks better than me choosing the wrong company according to a client's perspective.
Interesting, yeah.
There's always going to be large failure options when we're only dealing with Amazon, Google Cloud, big players. They have such large networks that if anything happens, it's like blackout, right?
Phelan's freaking out up in the corner there.
This is new. This is very new thing.
Right now, there are very few players that have massive amounts of servers and services that if they have any sort of catastrophic issue, tons of websites will be down. It's just the way it is right now.
I could not disagree with you more. I will go find the article that runs through how the internet operates. What I'm specifically talking about is everyone using one particular cloud, which is a new phenomenon. It's only happened in the last 8 years. Before then, the internet ran off of a series of layers of internet. And it's only now that at the very top it's centralized to only a few companies. So that's a new phenomenon.
Interesting. I mean, it sounds like Phelan, you are out. We got 2 votes for Cloudflare and 1 vote against and 1 abstention.
I didn't say I was against Cloudflare. It's just it depends on the client.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it offers enough benefit to outweigh the one time since I've been using Cloudflare since on all of our clients since when we had that giant attack on servers in COVID when they're doing the brute force attacks when they became a thing, a really big thing. We put Cloudflare on all of our clients, so probably around 2020, 2021.
Oh, interesting.
And I've never seen Cloudflare have a problem in all those years. So I feel like it's still a negligible percentage of time of downtime, which can be still catastrophic for particular types of clients for sure. But there were some clients that didn't even notice, and they should have. We sent out the information to our clients to let them know, but
smart.
I was surprised.
It wasn't too long ago either that AWS had a massive issue and tons of people were offline for hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
East
yeah.
One has gone down twice in 10 years, which has not
I
meant
know,
that
but
the internet stopped.
it feels to me, I feel like when everyone's down, it's more like a snow day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, then you
Like
go to the local
we
shops and buy.
can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's
oh,
when you get a situation like Google Ireland, they had in their Ireland data center, which is like their big European one. They had a cosmic ray turned a 0 into a 1, so it deleted an entire database.
Okay.
That's the issue
Well,
with
I
over
just
centralization.
we are
this is
over
true.
time. It's true.
We know that we know the issues. It's not that we don't understand. It's just that we don't care. I mean,
That's
at the moment. But I guess my point, yeah, we're out of time, and I've got to get going. I've got another
Yeah. So
yeah.
I will
to do
save what I'm going to tell you all for
soon.
next
But
week about this secret cool thing we're doing. But
okay,
next
great.
week it is Rena and I believe, and we are talking about something extraordinarily fun. So don't forget to join us there. And if you're seeing us on other channels, we do all congregate in the Business Marketing Mixer on Facebook, where we have chats and we talk about marketing. It's a marketing group for marketing people and people who love marketing. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.